It is vitally important to watch our words, thoughts, and actions, knowing that our mind is our employee. What we are directing our mind and our heart to do is imperative. It creates our reality.
My guest today is Marilyn Lawrence. Marilyn is an intuitive coach, speaker, and author of 8 books and her new release, I Am My Own Creation Oracle Set, with more projects in the works. Embracing her path with gusto and passion via her books, cards, retreats, seminars, and coaching, Marilyn teaches adults and children alike to mindfully recognize their purpose-driven qualities so they too can make the difference they were born to make in this life to achieve full life satisfaction. She also shares varied techniques that aid in the release of trapped, harmful emotions that were obtained from various life experiences, most of which have left wounds that still fester. Releasing the things that dull our light have taken us off our path and have left us in a place of confusion. Help us not in releasing the things that dull our light have taken us off our path and have left us in a place of confusion. Helps us not only see ourselves again, but also lets us feel the lust for the life we so desire, shares Lawrence. Marilyn was presented with the Carol Flynn Quill Award and the Women of Impact Gala held at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland. She's been a guest on several radio shows and has been quoted in blogs and websites, has been the featured speaker at various events, and has been featured in newspaper articles and magazines. Her client base stretches across the globe. She enjoys an active schedule of coaching, leading life-transforming retreats, writing, speaking, book signings, and teaching. That's a mouthful. Welcome, Marilyn.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here today.
I am so excited that you are. So now to the audience, you are about to get such a treat. So I ask in all humility so that everyone who needs to hear these messages can, please to help the channel, please like, subscribe, share. So before we get started, I just want to share that I have had a number of readings with you so far, I think 4, and they are so phenomenal. You have known things. I mean, even that robust intro does not say enough about your intuitive gifts. You have known things that were so extraordinary and so accurate. It gave me chills, as you would say, truth bumps. Just a little one. I remember one time you said, "Who's this person?" And you mentioned a name. I didn't know anyone by that name. The next day, someone I'm starting to do business with was like, "You have to meet this person." And it was that name. That's one example. I could talk for 20 minutes more, but this is about giving you space. So to get started, everyone has a story. Share a little bit about when you started to recognize your own intuitive gifts and what that was like.
Really, thank you. Thanks to Kristin for reminding me, because when I do the sessions, I go what I call go out. Yeah. So I won't have a memory of what comes through only until somebody tells me, "Hey, you said this." And so thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're
I appreciate
welcome.
that. I guess in answer to your question, I've always known that I was sensitive, though I was not raised in a family I was not around any tools like that. But I remember going in public places and wanting to know their story and getting their story, getting information about people, right? Being able to pick up what I used to call their story. It used to really irritate like my husband or other men, because we might be in a restaurant and I'm, not giving 100% attention across the table, but I'm getting stories. It wasn't until I was in my other career path, which I call my all about Maryland life, just really busy, making the money, buying stuff, going places, never completely fulfilled, never having my heart satisfied. And I started getting lumps on the side of the head. Hey, wake up. It's more about others than you, right? All of this going into other people's purposes, helping people. course, at first I didn't listen like most people. I just kept doing my life, right? It was pretty fun. But then it got more and more intense, intense to a point that I wanted to listen. Okay, what is this? What else is out there that's going to make me happy, that's going to fulfill me completely? So once I asked that, now I say God, but I don't teach religions, but they're, the driver of the ship. Once I asked, show this to me, what am I supposed to do? Then I was giving messages. In fact, the first direction I was given was, I'm supposed to talk to the angels. I'm like, well, that's cool. I love angels, right? Everything about that sounds great.
Uh-huh.
So I started talking to the angels. Like 2 weeks go by, and they're talking so fast and in a foreign language. I think I'm failing my first assignment on my new purpose path, right? Then I said, wait a minute, guys. Slow down. You know me. Make it easy. And click like that, things started coming in. I had to battle a little bit because my past career, I had to use my left brain a lot. Analytical, thinking, overthinking.
Yeah.
So I had to battle the belief thing for a while.
Yes.
Receiving the messages and then believing that it is a message. Believing that I'm supposed to be doing something. Believing that I do have the ability. So I had to battle that for just a little bit. But I promised once I said, okay, anything that you send to me, I'll receive. I'll receive it. And if I'm supposed to pass it on, I'll pass it on. I'll give you an example, if you don't mind.
Please. Yes.
I was with a client of mine. In fact, she lives in a different state, and she wanted to meet me in person. And I generally don't do that unless I'm out at a show. Mm-hmm. I don't do in person anymore because it is tiring. But I said, okay. So she drove all the way from her other state to sit with me in my office, and she brought a friend with her just to help along the way. And her friend said, you mind if I sit in your office? I said, I don't mind at all. I can't sometimes predict that somebody won't come through for you, but I don't mind at all. Come on, the more the merrier. So we're about 15 minutes into the session with my client, and all of a sudden I get the message, macaroni and cheese. And random, right? Random. I'd made that promise, I'll deliver all messages. So after a quick deliberation in my head, I said, okay, I'm getting the message, macaroni and cheese. And my client's eyes started welling up. And I said, now there's an eagle coming in, big eagle coming in and soaring. And with that, she started crying. I didn't know that her husband, just a couple months earlier, had graduated, passed on. Mm-hmm. And they used to get on the Harley with their eagle coats and drive around to places and try macaroni and cheese. Oh. So it was he that was coming in to talk to her. I can tell you, when you do decide to believe everything that comes in for you, then the universe knows you're ready. And then your gifts will accelerate you.
Well, let's slow that down. I love that story so much, because you could have easily, and you had said, I'm saying yes to being the messenger, heard macaroni and cheese, and just, that's weird, that's dumb, don't say anything, because it was so random. But for you, everyone gets these, it's all the different clairs. Is it that you see it, that you hear it, that you feel it? What are these messages? How are they conveyed, and how do you receive them? What sense do you use?
That's a great question. Thank you. I have been gifted with a great sight. I'm a great seer, so that's super fun because I see a lot of pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And so I can describe people when they come in. And but what I found now is it's like they're all clicking on at the same time. I can't discern which one is happening first, whether it's a knowingness, a feeling that I'm hearing the message, that I'm seeing the pictures. It's like they all click in together. So okay. That's and I think that happens when we start using the methods to open up our clairvoyance, our claircognizance, our clairsensors. When we start paying attention to where those are located, and then using conscious mind, opening them, just like we do our chakras, utilizing our energy spaces to their full effectiveness using our clairs, then that starts clicking in like that.
So when you're out and about and you're at a restaurant with your husband, like you said, when it was first starting, I mean, first of all, did it start at all as a child? I know you were sensitive,
Yes.
so you were getting some messages as a child. It just wasn't something you really understood or cultivated. It
Right.
was just
I
part
thought I
of.
was being nosy. I thought,
Oh,
I had no idea what was going on, right? I didn't know that everybody else didn't do that same thing. I just had no knowledge of it at all. I knew when people were in fights. I knew when they were having difficult times. I knew all of this information,
oh my
but I
gosh.
didn't know that other people didn't know it too. And in fact, I can
Right.
remember saying to whomever I'm with, why would you know that they're having a fight, right?
Why would you not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so you're living this analytical left brain life that's all about Marilyn. How long ago did you get sort of that wake up call that, it's time to tune in and shift how you live in your life and be receptive to this?
Well, let me do a quick count back. Let me
Okay.
do a quick count back in years because we were living in Orange County, and I would say that has been, I'm going to say about 12 years ago, started kicking in, and
Uh-huh.
my husband and I made a trip to Sedona,
Mm.
and we're just like the typical tourists.
Hmm.
But all of a sudden, I started getting, as you call it, download to write a book. And I'm like, writing a book? What I was thinking in my head, my English teacher's probably turning in her grave, God bless her soul, because she told me I was terrible at English, right? But,
Here you are.
writing a book. So there was my first start of a book, not the first one I published, but the first one I started was in that time zone.
And then things really started accelerating when you said yes. You really said yes and invested in your cultivating your gifts.
Yes, I would say that's been about 9 or 10 years ago
Okay.
that I just, put both feet in the pool and decided, okay, let's see what this is like. It's pretty fun.
Well, I imagine your life changed radically and in every conceivable way.
Dramatically. Friends in my old gamut, were looking at me like, "Oof, I think she's, this woo woo world
Yeah, yeah,
is a lot
yeah.
think you're crazy. But, now they're my clients.
Mm.
So you can't ever doubt. You have to just believe and do what you're, told to do. Just do it. Do it. If you don't like it, then do it a different way. Try something else.
Well, I love that try something. So if someone feels like maybe they're just an empath, intuitive, they're not necessarily hearing messages, what is one simple way that they can say yes or start to open up and listen, however that comes through? What might you suggest?
Well, another great question. I would suggest telling the universe, telling their divine team, guides, counsel, guardian angels, that they're ready. I'm ready. I am going to embrace the missions that I wrote on my statement before I entered this life. I am ready to make a difference. I'm ready to, because we have more than one purpose. We have many purposes, right?
Mhm.
I am ready to embrace my next purpose.
Mm.
I'm ready to move into my next. And I'm going to do so without fear. I'm going to do so without doubt. And I'm going to be chasing away any time that I'm feeling those resistance, because there is a lot of doubt and fear that can be triggered up when you start going into like our woo woo kind of
Yes.
world, because they're tremendously less now because a lot of people are gaining consciousness. But
Mhm.
there are still people out there that are like, I don't understand what you're trying to say. I'm going to walk away from this conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Or whatever judgment they have, whatever fear they have. And so this is a very technical question. When you say that to your guides, your guardian angels, divine team spirit, however you define that or speak to that, do you literally say it out loud? Do you say it in your head? Do you say it in prayer? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all. And I said it repeatedly.
Mm.
Even though I have been told now once you hand something up to God, the divine team, once you hand it up there, you don't need to pull it back down and mess with it and keep handing it back up and pulling it down. You could just send it up once. I've been told that now, but I said it repeatedly. I'd say it out loud. I'd say it in meditation. I'd say it in my head. Okay, what's next?
Well, I have to say, in working with you, every time I would leave a session, it was like I felt my own frequency was going up. There was a sense of hopefulness and belief, and fear felt like it was starting to dissolve. Like, okay, I feel connected with purpose. I feel excited about my life. So that energy is really, really contagious. Share how you move through your day, if you would, in being Marilyn and connected to these messages, and what is coming through with this incredible year of 2024. So those are like two questions in one.
Those are two questions. First of all, I do want to point out that when I do receive the messages, I want to give all credit to the divine team, right? Because I'm basically just sitting here and I'm like, oh, guess what? They're saying this, right? I'm just transferring the information.
Yeah.
So I always want to give all of the respect and glory to the divine teams, because they're the ones that have chosen who they want the messages to go to. It's by no accident that someone reaches out to me. I probably get 2 or 3 referrals a week now, just because they know that it's ready to hear the messages, right?
Yeah.
So just that. My day starts with giving thanks for another day. Thank you so much. I go through the whole thing: God, God's angels, divine mastery level and higher, my guides, my counsel, my guardian angels. Thank you for giving me another day. What do you want me to do today?
Yeah.
Who do you want to bring to me? What is it you want to do? Then I go down and do all the routines, all of the stuff to get ready. And I spend quiet time. Then I come to my office and I'll spend quiet time. Right now I am in what I'm terming a sabbatical. I've taken off a month to finish writing a book and to do some online courses. So it's a little different now. It's a little easier for me to go into a longer meditation, but on a regular day of coaching, I'll do the meditation. I'll start tuning into the person 15 minutes before we physically connect. And then there's a day. And at the end of the day, especially if I'm asked to do a lot of healing, I'll be pretty exhausted and I'll just sit and zone out.
So this is such a treat for me to be able to say, okay, what goes on, on the sidelines that I don't see. So thank you. So that was part 1. Part 2 is we're in this year in terms of numerology that is an 8. And I know in our sessions you've mentioned that quite a bit. And we also, prior to coming onto the show, both agreed, let's just organically see what comes up. And you had said that things were coming up. So I'm going to kind of hand it over to you and just ask that you share whatever comes through that feels important to whomever might be listening.
Excellent. Thank you, Kristin. Well, you're right. 2024 is a big year. It is an 8-year. 8-year is the infinity sign, right? So we have infinite possibilities in this year. Now, I was told by my team, probably it was about October, that we need to really start focusing on releasing these old patterns, anything in our operating system, programs, habits, roles, anything that is 2023 and before that no longer serves us. Because we went through, COVID, went through 2021, 22, 23. 23 was a good year. It was a good year for stirring up and breaking down a lot of structures. So people were having difficulty not understanding that it is intentionally set. Those years were intentionally set to break down the old stuff, stir it up so we can release it, and now we can be much clearer. It is like moving from that 3rd dimensional up to the 4th, 5th, 6th dimensionals, moving from those years into 2024. So with everything we do, we need to concentrate on being in infinite possibilities. I am working with infinite possibilities. I am creating my 2024 vision of self, working with infinite possibilities. It's incredibly powerful year for us to take advantage of. I love that there are so many people that are paying attention to that too.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that want to move into this infinity but don't know how. And it is easy. Everything's so easy. The angels say everything's easy. So we can just let go of thinking this is hard. I am moving into my infinite possibilities. There. You moved into your infinite possibilities. I am releasing everything that no longer serves me. There. Just releasing everything that no longer serves you. Remembering that things happen in layers. We go through life experiences, and they are layer upon layer. So sometimes it takes several times of releasing what no longer serves me. But that's all you have to do.
I love that. And I have yours. You sent a beautiful email, and I printed it and put up my visioning for this year. It was just really, really meaningful. So these layers, it's one thing to say, I'm releasing all past programs that no longer serve me, conditions and programs that no longer serve me. I'm moving into this year with infinite possibility. And you say it and you say it. And I'm imagining, correct me if I'm wrong, that even the words hold a vibration that starts to create a shift. But there also are layers to us. So our words and our mouth and our thoughts can say something, but then maybe getting back to your intro, that there can be these stuck emotions in operating systems that are in our bodies or in our etheric energy. Can you say a little bit about that and how that also connects to saying the words and the easiness that your angels are reinforcing?
Absolutely. That falls right in line with these messages that we're bringing in. I was scrambling around trying to write these before our call today because I wanted to be sure and share them. Please excuse me because I am going to reference the notes because this is,
Please.
like I said, what they just brought in.
Yes.
I mentioned already that I have taught for years the releasing, how important it is to release. Get the gunk out of the way so you can move forward. Because when we carry the stagnant around, it's like cement on our ankles. We just lose our lust for life. We get stuck in a cycle and we can't move forward. So we have to pay conscious attention to taking action of release. We have emotions within us that are sad because we've all had sadness. We've all had difficulties. We have all had things that have taken us to a pause state. When we realize that those difficulties are not you being picked on or you having a problem or you doing something wrong, but they are actually gifts, lessons for soul's advancements, then we can start processing them in a different way. When I say soul's advancements, because we have our soul, our soul seed comes in, pure, white, sparkly, and then we go through these different lives to learn these different lessons to increase our ability to turn into this divine mastery level. We pick up stuff. We forget to do with each life is let go of the stuff. So pretty soon, by the time, even by our second life, we're carrying stuff from the first. So those souls that have been around for a few lives, it's like pulling these cement bags behind us.
Right.
Really important. Really, really important not to carry. The secret is not carrying the negative. Right? Mm-hmm. What do you do to get rid of the negative? I'm safely and easily releasing anything in my operating system that no longer serves me. And then don't overthink it. Don't go back and say, that's too easy. That won't work. I've got to probably go out and do hopscotch or jumping jacks or something while I'm saying it. No.
That's it.
Believe in it.
Believe in it.
Have full faith that everything that you're doing is a contribution to your soul's advancement, that you have been awakened, that you have an awareness now that you didn't have before, and you are going to participate in your life advancements. Our mind is our employee. So we have to be a good boss. We have to tell our mind what it is that we want in our life. Yeah. When we tell our mind, boy, I have a hard life. Boy, I am never going to get those things that I really desire. Boy, I'm never going to get that job. I'm not going to ever have the money. I'm not going to have the perfect relationship. What are we telling our mind?
Yeah.
Our mind's a good employee. It's going to bring that to us. It's going to continue to bring to us those kind of difficulties. But when we shift that, when we make those simple shifts, I am the abundance of my desires. When we use the I am affirmations, I am, capital A, is in contribution of God and the universe. Let's use that power. I am affirming that I am creating this type of life for me. They work all day long. I chant at night. I chant, and I have for years. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Go to bed instead of carrying all of the bad stuff with you or thinking about what bad stuff could happen tomorrow. I am telling my mind this is my reality. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Yeah. When I first started chanting, I was going through an unhappy period. So when I'd say I am happy, I almost felt like I was lying to myself. But I knew that I didn't want to be unhappy.
That's
so
right.
I couldn't say I'm unhappy because
Yeah.
that would be the reverse role, right?
Yes.
So I knew what I wanted, and I started programming myself. Rewriting the programs, superseding old programs. I am happy. Now I'm happy all the time. People are like, why are you so happy? I'm just happy. I'm just a happy person. I chose my desires. I chose the direction that I wanted to be on. When we carry around the heaviness of another thing, and you touched on it, watching our words. So when we say broken heart, what are we saying to our body?
Yes.
That broke my heart. Whoops, careful. We can't hold on to that. Yeah, so we have to be very conscious. The 28-day courses that I wrote have to do with really watching our words, thoughts, and actions, because I'll tell you what, we program ourselves. We are the ones that program ourselves because of the results of our, actions or other people's actions. It happens, but we go back and program it. We catch it.
Yeah.
If we are carrying these hatred, bitterness, regret, just this heavy, toxic emotions, it brings us down. We can literally see it bringing us down. We can see the weight. If we think of something sad, we can see it in our reflection.
Yeah.
Right? When we think of something happy, everything lightens up. We smile. Everything is lighter. So what was coming in this morning, and I've kind of, I just want to glance at my notes because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, please.
We need to understand that the darkness that blinds us from happiness and joy and prosperity and moving forward along our path is our fault. It is our fault because we went through a lesson and we carried the sad emotions with the lesson. So if you think of a sticker, a sticker, you've got the good sticker that you bought that you want to put on your water bottle or something, and you've got the backside, the stuff that you peel off. So let's look at it that way. I want to keep the sticker, I want to keep the lesson, but I'm going to peel this off and I'm going to throw away the back paper. Bad emotions.
Okay.
I'm going to release those. Yeah?
Okay.
So if we know that carrying these toxic emotions, carrying this sadness is weighing us down, then can't we say that all of these years and centuries that people have been searching for the fountain of youth is not out there? It's not a well. It's not a waterfall. The fountain of youth is within us because we have the ability to daily release the things that bring us down, that weigh down our skin, that make the wrinkles by the weight of it, that make it heavy on us. The fountain of youth is within us. We can create the beautiful images of ourselves, of our mind, our emotions, our body, our spirit, our soul, by simply releasing the things that don't serve us. Joy serves us. Being joyful to help others, being in a state of glory serves us. High vibrations, right? So daily dedication to releasing.
So I love that. And I also have questions.
Yes.
Because it is no accident in these spiritual lives that we are living that we come here and we encounter challenges and tragedy. And they also are lessons, and we also need to process emotions, not just block and move to the light, that they are part of the ecosystem. How, because I love that metaphor of the sticker, and you pull it and it's beautiful, and you put it on your water bottle, and then you've got the little stuff and you throw that away. What are your lessons? What do your guides say about why we move through difficult things? And my assumption is because they help to evolve us. But how do we process emotions so that we're not just bypassing it, but we're really learning the lesson and then choosing joy, glory, compassion, right? Whatever it is that up levels our frequency and our connection to the divine.
Well, I think that you said it brilliantly. We respect the lesson. So our lessons we take and we put them in our library, our Akashic records. That's why sometimes we have a past life that will come back, and we'll all of a sudden remember a past life that we've had. Mm-hmm. It's because we need the lesson that was learned in that past life, right? Mm-hmm. Our soul learns stuff each time.
Right.
Yes, we become wiser and wiser, right?
Yes.
So we'll learn that lesson. The emotions, if we pull back a lesson and at that time, at that life, we did not release the emotions, we have to be very consciously aware of not letting that interfere with us. So if you have a memory of something and all of a sudden you have a bad day, right? We didn't
Mm-hmm.
release the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
We do have to understand emotions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't be robotic.
Right.
You know, something happens and we can't be sad about it or we can't be mad about it. We can understand that.
We're human.
We're human, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So we've got to honor that,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have to carry it.
So we don't have to carry it. Like I think of in the beginning or through readings, you do a lot of clearing work because you're looking at my body and my energetic field. And I've started through you as well as other teachers doing my own clearing work. For example, sometimes I'll breathe in beautiful, positive love and energy. And I imagine when I'm exhaling, it's so about the imagination, all these trapped, stuck emotions. I'm sort of exhaling them and blowing them out. Or I imagine an enormous magnet that is pulling stuck, heavy, dark emotions from all my different chakras. Like I'm really trying to scan my body, right? So that's like releasing and clearing. Is that what you're talking about? And would you add any other advice?
There are a lot of different ways to release. We have the simple, I'm safely and easily, but there are a lot of visual ways because we need to release at different levels. We need to release with all of our intuitive abilities, Mm-hmm. We need to release with sound, with sight, with feeling, mm-hmm. with knowingness. We need to clear out the channels. And I mentioned that there are many layers sometimes, especially, let's face it, when we're little and we fall off a bike and scratch our knee, it's the worst day ever. It is the worst day ever, right? Mm-hmm. So that created a layer, right? And then as we get older and older, our worst day ever get different, mm-hmm. right? So we have to go back and clear out the layers. Some are fast. Scratch knee, that's a pretty fast layer to clear mm-hmm. out. But the being in a relationship where you were treated poorly, having people take advantage of you, having major hardships, having the loss of a loved one, those are significant. Those are significant. And when I'm taken back on people's timelines, I'm shown the hills and valleys, good days, bad days, and then I'm shown the spikes. The spikes are such a degree of difficulty that it has stayed in a spike. And seriously, all you have to do is take your finger and push that spike down. I'm releasing it. We're just going to take it, hand it up to God, turn it into daisies.
It reminds me that in 1994, a really close girlfriend and I had a rift that was a fallout. And I hadn't thought about it, but it was still with me, that spike. You said, okay, I'm seeing this young woman, and you started to describe her, and I couldn't get it. And then it was after the reading, I remembered her name. I was like, and I reached out to you and said, that's her. That is her. All these little things that are still in the timeline, that is in the layer that I carry with me, that we carry with us.
Mm-hmm. Right. And what's so fabulous is we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
We can get rid of them. We can have the expectation that, it's one and done. Well, I'm gonna do this one time, and boy, I'm gonna be floating. I'm gonna have to have a rope on me because I'm floating so high. But we have to understand that it took a while to build those up. Just like if you've ever seen if you've ever gone somewhere and seen a bathtub that has super grime buildup on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't just like one person's bath.
Right.
It was like a lot of different episodes.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Yeah.
Still can be cleaned off, but it takes a little bit more work to clean through the layers of that. Yes?
Yes. Okay, so I'm so curious because this idea about you can see the timeline, you can see, like you were looking at my son and you saw stuff that was so right on. And then you mentioned the Akashic Records. So are you getting this information from the Akashic Records, or where is it coming from?
What happens with the Akashic Records is we have our lessons, yes. Mm-hmm. Each incident, whether difficult or easy, creates a lesson. Yeah. Those lessons go up in our library, which is Akashic Records, right? And we move through them. We simply move through them. We want to make sure that we're gathering all of the information we need to move forward. We don't want to be stuck in something. I spoke of this a little bit earlier, but it is like having cement. When we don't have the energy flowing through us, when we have so many hardships and so many regrets and such low self-esteem and holding ourselves back, when we have all of this, it is like layers and layers of mudslides trying to get our energy through.
Yes.
So we're going to wash this through, and we use, as you know, the angelic power washer. Mm-hmm. You remember this tool. This is when I ask the angels to talk slower, that make it easy for me. Mm-hmm. So they teach me tools like the angelic power washer, right? Mm-hmm. And every time I say it, they're up there laughing. I know that. But guess what? It's effective. Because everyone knows what a power washer is. It's big, strong water. You go out there and wash up the sidewalk, driveway, anything, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And this works on the same premise, but not. So it starts at the top of our head where we have what's called the crown chakra. It's like a V up here. Our communication comes in through this. And it washes down, and I can literally see the layers coming off of people. It's like the dirt moving off of the driveway. It leaves behind not water, but it leaves behind this thick elixir. It's a healing elixir. I always see divine as sparkly. I guess I'm a sparkly kind of girl.
You are
every time I see divine as sparkly. So I will grab handfuls of this healing elixir when I'm going down through somebody's space and I see darkness, because the inside of us should be like Casper the Ghost, right? All white and sparkly, like the soul seed. Our soul seed was white and sparkly, yeah. But when we run into darker spots, it can go light gray all the way to black. then this is emotions that we've held on to, because emotions create dis-ease. Emotions create dis-ease. No second about it. When we find one of those spots that has been fermenting,
Yeah.
then we're going to take handfuls of that and we're going to just start washing it away, washing it away, washing it away. My husband had diagnosed with cancer, cancer of the bladder and prostate.
Oh,
We're going to
gosh.
take out his bladder, have a bag. He's like, he has been through so much because he has lupus, kidney failure, heart attacks,
Oh,
just
my
on and on and on.
goodness, Marilyn. I'm so sorry.
He's like, I can't, I'm like, lessons for his soul's life. I can't do this. I can't go on a bag the rest of my life.
Sure.
So we got busy. Every night I'd start washing him off with that healing elixir. Washing off, washing off. It was 2 weeks before his surgery. And I started panicking because I couldn't see any more of the black. It was just all white. And I was like, oh man, this is really bad. I'm not being shown where to wash off. At the same time, he was taking white light and shining it on the darkness of the infected area. 10 days later, go into the hospital for the surgery, and they do the scan to make sure where they're going to go and all. And they're like, we've got a problem here. Can't see anything. We're going to go ahead and go in anyway, because that can't be the case. They come back and you know, we're still in what's happened. We're still in like, and the doctor says, well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Which would you like first? Well, let's hear the good news. The good news is we couldn't find any cancer. What's the bad news? Well, that can't be right, because all of the tests 110 days ago showed how dramatically infected you were. They had to learn that self-healing is powerful. So it is
Everywhere.
yes, truth bombs. So it's broadening everyone's scope of knowingness by these kind of examples. We pushed the surgery date off because we wanted to try self-healing.
Yeah.
And they were just,
Oh, I'm sure they were
not.
aghast.
Yes, this is not, we need to go in and do this right away. And so, no, that was pretty incredible. My husband and I were taught by a 32nd generation Ayurvedic monk that doing the 7 breaths technique. I think I probably taught that one to you.
I don't remember
It
that
is
one.
inhaling deeply and then exhaling through your mouth loudly, bringing up everything and taking it out away from you, just blowing it out of you. Now, I'd like to take it a step further because I don't want to like release stuff and leave it on the sidewalk. Somebody trips over it and has a bad day, right? So we'll release responsibly and we'll just release it right up. So it'll be turned into daisies, yes? They say to make that soul graduation, you know, we talked about the many lives to mastery. We are looking to become childlike self again. We are to be the innocence of a child. That means with no judgment, with no expectations, with no injury to others or ourselves. Just that wide-eyed child, the one that can believe in everything, the one that I laugh all the time, my sister and I running around our backyard with, you know, towels and sheets on and princesses. She was a butterfly, I was a princess. And, you know, you can have anything in your imagination, right? Until you know, start getting older with life experiences. It is that innocence that we're moving back to. So as we release, we are not carrying the judgment, safely and easily releasing judgment. Who am I to judge? I don't know somebody else's mission statement. We want the best for every soul. We hope that they learn what they need to learn in their life, right? Mm-hmm. We cannot judge other people. We don't know their mission statement.
Yes.
Let them learn their lessons. We can wish the best for them. We can hope that they'll learn the lessons that they need to learn. You know, we're not expected to be perfect. It is hoped that we will have a participatory role in making ourselves better in this lifetime, but there's no expectation for us to be perfect. Releasing, releasing, releasing. We can use a rock in water to release. We can use the breath, as we've said. We can use, in fact, one of the things I'm doing are making 12 release meditations that I've written for different types of releasing. Releasing is letting go of what doesn't serve you. No preconceived notions or expectations, no hate or anger because of others, not holding on to others' expectations of you, not holding on to their anger. Why? Why do we do that? Why do we do that when Sally says, boy, that's an ugly dress you're wearing today? Why do we believe it?
Yeah.
No, I love my dress. I rock this dress. Right? Let's stand in our right to be us.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be like everybody else. Like Jesus is my role model. Why is Jesus my role model? Because he had a very difficult purpose. Mm-hmm. He moved into it despite the rotten fruit and the crown of thorns and how everybody said he was crazy. He moved into it and stayed with it. He would have to separate himself and go up on the mountain to receive his messages, right? He'd have to do that. So staying with a group all the time isn't the perfect thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I hear all the time, well, I feel like I'm becoming a loner. I feel like I need to be by myself more and more. Good. Receive the messages.
Yeah.
Receive the messages and then move forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're with a group, sometimes we're not. Easy as that.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Just thinking of this childlike version, our innocence of ourselves, our little self being so innocent, makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that. Think of the happiness of being that innocent child.
Yes.
Then, you know this, our energy comes into us through our left-hand chakra, opening that chakra up, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, counterclockwise, moves in, moves through us, and then moves out through our right hand, yes? Every time we help people, everything we do for others, out through the right.
Mm.
So we're going to take that vision of us, that innocent child, no judgment, just happy and playing, in here. We're going to fuel ourselves with that good. We have to be very conscious of what we fuel ourselves with. Because if we're fueling ourselves with I can'ts, I'll never be able to's, that's where we're steering our ship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right into that bank. Mm-hmm. We'll stay there. Or we could steer ourselves with I can do anything in line with my mission statement. Mm-hmm. And I forgive myself. I'm not going to hold on to these things that I thought I did wrong. I'm not going to hold on to the things that I did do wrong. I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
I understand that. And I moved on. I'm going to quit pulling stuff from yesterday into today and dwelling on it. I'm going to quit stewing on what somebody did to me. Yeah, but what they did is really wrong. They should have never done that to me. They should have never done that to me. They should have never said that. They really, really made it difficult for me. Yeah. There's no arguing truth, right? Truth is truth. That might have happened. But why are you punishing yourself with it?
Yes.
When that happens, we need to understand, send forgiveness, and get on with it. Mm. Oh, that's easy for you to say. I've lived a life too.
Right.
You know, I've had stuff.
Of course.
We all do.
Yeah.
We're all human.
That's right.
I can tell you 100% that when we do forgive and move on and concentrate on what is out in front of us instead of tripping over yesterday's, things happen. Things happen. It's time to update our programs, our operating systems to live healthy in the mind, emotions, body, spirit, and soul, to free ourselves and be free. It is vitally important to watch our words, thoughts, and actions, knowing that our mind is our employee. What we are directing our mind and our heart to do is imperative. It creates our reality. We create our reality. When we say, boy, it's nearly impossible for me to finish this task, what do we know? There's a possibility. So let's focus on that possibility. Maybe it's like 9 out of 10 nearly impossible, but there's that 1/10 of possibility. And if we hold on to that, then we're going to get rid of all of that 9/10s, and we're going to be 10 out of 10 possible. Yes? We know that we are never given anything that is impossible. If it is in line with our mission statement, it is something that we are to do. We have to uphold our pact with God. We said we'd do something. Now we'll do it. We're moving into that. We must be mindful about the fuel that we give others. If we fuel ourselves with words, actions, thoughts, beliefs, and lower vibrations, we encourage that to grow. If, however, we fuel ourselves with positive, it is that which we reap. We have the choice of how life experiences affect us. We have that choice. We individually have that choice. The experience doesn't have the choice. Other people don't have that choice. We have that choice. We have the choice to be anything our beautiful soul determines to be. Moving into this magnificence is completely freeing. It's like breathing fresh air. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
So, fountain of youth is within us. Looking young, being young, is all about the releasing.
Amazing. It's amazing, but it's so simple. It is so simple. Yeah.
And that's what they say over and over. You humans, you overthink everything. You try to make things so difficult on yourselves.
We do.
Just try doing what we ask you to do. Just try it. So I did. I just started trying it, and it works.
And it works.
I know that now.
This has flown by. I could listen to you and your angels and guides endlessly.
Thank
like
you. Thank
fuel
you.
for the soul.
Well, I appreciate you immensely for inviting me on today. Thank you. You are a beautiful soul. Thank you for all that you're doing, sharing these words.
You're very welcome. That it's just you are a gift.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How I Made It Through is produced and distributed by EIQ Media, LLC. Elevate your emotional IQ with podcasts and content focused on overcoming adversity, leadership, mental health, entrepreneurship, spiritually transformative experiences, and more.